Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula Warman, your host and the Landscapers coach. And this week, I'm talking all about why me time is not a luxury, it's actually a perfectly good business strategy for growing your landscaping and garden design business in the best way possible. So, if you want more me time or you feel guilty when having more me time, I think this show might be for you. So let's go to the show. As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show. Hello, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. How are you? It's been a very testing week this week for me, and this is kind of how I came up with what I was going to talk to you about in this podcast, because I've had to actually prioritize some me time. Been having a lot of issues with my daughter going to school and all sorts of meltdowns that are happening as her hormones are going wild. And it's kind of almost derailed me in my own business. And it is something that could only be sorted by getting back to the crux of what really helps me focus, get more clarity, and get more motivation, really. So I'm going to be talking about in this episode the overwhelm that comes with running a small landscaping or garden design business, or just a small business in general, and why today I chose to prioritize going to my church, my place that I love to have some me time. And if you've been here for a while, you should probably know, and you will probably be able to shout out, I'm sure you're going to say, it's the gym. Yes. And, I'm going to start with this morning. So I looked at my schedule and there's always a lot of things to do. I had a call booked in the afternoon, and I had to walk the dog because my husband Mike has been working in London this week. So the dog has been on my to-do list rather than his. And I am still trying to be a competitive bodybuilder. My coach would shout at me for that, but essentially I am still bodybuilding. I still have the kids to get to school. And as I mentioned, there was a few meltdowns this week that has derailed the start time and all of that jazz. But essentially, I looked at my diary and I thought I could quite legitimately sack off the gym and say, I'm too busy, haven't got time. I'm not going to get it done in time to get back for my afternoon call. The dog's going to take too long to take for a walk, so therefore I won't go to the gym. And essentially say, if I go to the gym, I'm going to miss out on all the jobs that have to be done in the business, the ever growing to-do list that I'm sure you can relate to. And actually something in me said, no, get to the gym, because currently your mental health is a priority. You've got to mentally get back on track. I knew that going to the gym would get rid of any anxiety, anger, feelings, emotions that threatened to stop you from doing anything. And I also knew it would probably get the endorphins going and make me a lot happier, and therefore make me more productive when I got home. And the idea is, I wanted to come to you today because I'm sure a lot of you have this in your daily life where you have got things pulling you in different directions. You've got the business, you've got the need to work on the business in order to grow the business, but you're working in the business to get the business to where you want to be. You might be managing teams, you're managing your admin, you are trying to market your business, you are trying to be a husband or wife, you are trying to be a dad or a mum. And it's a lot. And a lot of the time we say, no, we won't do the gym. We won't go for that walk that we promised we'd do every day. We won't bother sitting there peace and quiet with a coffee and journaling. We are not going to read that book. We are not going to listen to that podcast. Notice what I did there. All of these things that you class as me time, you will regularly give up in order to work harder on the business. And effectively, the work you do on the business when you are burning out, overwhelmed, and out of control is not as productive as the work that you will do when you've had some effective me time. So some downtime, maybe just doing something you enjoy, something to get the endorphins flowing, anything you want. The gym for me is my me time. It's the same for my husband. So we have to learn to prioritize me time in order to grow the business. It shouldn't be a luxury. It shouldn't be a nice to have. It should be a must do and a must be scheduled in. So that is what I kind of chose. I have been feeling very much stretched thin with lots of things. As you know, we are planning a move to Thailand, which is a huge, big move. We have got the landscaping business, which continues to run. I've got this business, which I love, and I love my clients that I work with. And I'm also mum, dog mum, and all of the rest of it. And the moment that you start to realize that you are not productively moving your business forward is the moment when you need to think of a reset. And that reset comes in the form of me time. Because for me, the gym isn't just going to the gym and getting some exercise. It is mental clarity. It is a stress reliever. It helps me think more clearly. It gives me massive motivation to go home and get that one thing done off my to-do list when I get back. It makes me feel better about myself. It makes me feel more confident in myself. And it makes me show up for my clients, for my family, in a way that I wouldn't do if I didn't go. And when I don't go, you can really notice the things that creep in, the feeling of not good enough, the feeling that you can't be bothered, the complete overwhelm, the massive emotions. And when we skip our self-care, whatever it looks like to you, it doesn't have to be the gym. I'm not here to promote the gym, although I do think it's one of the key reasons that I can do so much, because it does keep my mental clarity there. If you skip your self-care, it's going to lead to mistakes. It's going to lead to short tempers. I can thoroughly tell you that is exactly what's happened this last week. Ask my husband. Very slow decision making, or even being indecisive. Missed opportunities is another thing. Maybe you're short-tempered with your staff. Maybe it begins to show. Another story I'll share with you, real life. Back in the olden days, I feel like, when my kids think it's the olden days, when I used to work in sales and I was the sales manager, I never realized it until I kind of got to know the team, but they used to know how I would be by the way I was. So my emotions would show really badly. And therefore, when I was stressed, highly stressed with sales targets and having to achieve things, I would be short-tempered, I would be angry, and they would know because of the way I changed. And that is what you could be doing. It's very hard to lead a team when you are running on fumes. That is simple as that. When you're not getting enough downtime or me time, then your brain isn't working as effectively as it should do. It will be technically functional, but it will be far from efficient. And I am, the proof of that. Now, what people fail to realize is when you're resetting or overwhelmed and you need a reset, rest is the most productive thing you can do, especially when you're in a physically demanding industry such as ours, such as landscaping. You are not only mentally tired from the load of the business, but you are going to be physically tired from what you do in the business. So rest is so productive and so important. So it's really important to remember you are the asset in your business. You are the person that if you break down, the whole ship may sink. You are the person that when you grow, your business will grow with you. And when you don't show up as your best self, then your business is not going to be running at its best either. So it's really, really important to remember all these things. The grind culture that we've all been born into, I feel, especially if you're in your 40s like me, it doesn't work quite as well as people think. So I think it's really important that you should prioritize and introduce the concept of, if you're not already doing it, the me time. Okay. it's maintenance. It's like maintaining the tools, the car, the van. They all need maintaining, and so do you. Now, it's all very well talking about it, but how do you do this? I know that's what you're saying. So there are a few things you could do. You could take a 30-minute reset, which a 20-minute, 30-minute reset, which means you go for a quick walk. You have a coffee on your own in silence. You may do some stretching, some journaling, some reading, something that interrupts that burnout loop that's in your brain when you are on all the time. Another thing that I always try and get my clients to do is block out their time. So I try and get you guys to time block for specific activities, mainly to get your admin done when not at the weekends. It's a good use of your time, maybe blocking out half a day to do that. But this is kind of like a daily non-negotiable block where you can plan. You can do some stuff that you have been wanting to do but never get round to move the business forward. And I don't mean just sat there creating content. I mean actual planning and strategizing. Or you could just use it to do something you really want to do. So maybe it is the gym. You go and do your gym session. Put yourself first on the schedule, please, because you are the most important. Like I said before, you are the asset within your business. If you burn out, the business burns out. So it's just like a job being booked in. You need to schedule everything. So if you want to go to the gym like I do, I schedule gym time now and I'm sticking to it. I let it go this past week, which is not good. So I now need to schedule my gym time. I need to schedule my lunch. I need to schedule my mental breaks. If you do not book it in and schedule it in, it will not happen. You will get waylaid. You'll let other people create your schedule. So it's really, really important. And finally, delegate more than you actually feel comfortable with would be my key. So, examples are outsourcing your bookkeeping and accounting, hiring maybe a part-time labourer or driver during your peak times, handing over your quoting to an admin person, handing over marketing to a marketing person. Delegation isn't losing control. It's gaining more capacity for yourself to do more that you can do quicker and better. And most importantly, please notice your signs of overwhelm. So early warning signs could be that you start snapping. That's one of mine. I literally snap at everything when I'm getting overwhelmed. I avoid stuff as well. So you might be avoiding your paperwork. You might be avoiding seeing people. You might be avoiding actually even just doing the things you used to love. You might be starting to forget more. So your brain is so overloaded, it doesn't remember stuff. So you're forgetting the small details. You constantly feel behind no matter what you do. All of these things are signs of overwhelm that you need to schedule in that break, that reset, that rest, that me time to get back to normal, whatever that looks like. And like I said, it could be anything. You could just turn your phone off for a morning. You could go out with the kids if you have them, take them to the park for an hour after school. You could just literally do nothing and sit in silence. You could just listen to music. Something I love is listening to music. That's part of why the gym works for me, because I'm at the gym, I'm doing gym work, but I also get to listen to my music really, really loud. This week's playlist has been Angry Gym playlist. It's been brilliant. I've added new songs to my actual liked songs playlist, and I've had a whale of a time in the gym as well. So prioritizing yourself benefits everyone. You will begin to make clearer decisions, less errors. You'll lead a calmer team. You'll communicate better. You show up more present, happier, more positive. You will even probably experience more productivity. You will stop that cycle of burnout if you can prioritize yourself first. So I think that is the most important thing for you. So this is your one action from today. Why don't you find 30 minutes for a CEO reset that you can use and treat it as if it's a job? So treat it like one of your projects. It's not negotiable. It's just time for you, and you can do whatever the hell you like. And then can you DM me on socials or email me with what you did to celebrate your win? That's what I'm here for. I am your cheerleader. So that's me. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I am going on a big night out tonight. I don't drink, so I'm okay for the multiple football matches we have with the kids tomorrow. And I'm really quite excited to do that, get the tree up and have some family time. So that is going to be my me time. I will be back in the gym on Sunday for even more me time. But if you are struggling with any of this, do get in touch. It's Paula at thelandscaperscoach.co.uk. And I'm currently running an offer until the 10th of December where you can get a 4-week sort of try before you buy intro coaching session with me called the Landscapers Growth Roadmap. And it's 4 weeks with me for £139 instead of £179. So you save a bit of money, you get to try before you buy it. And if you love working with me, we can look at one-to-one coaching. So give me a shout. Have a wonderful day, week, month, and I'll see you on the next podcast. See you later.